What's up, dudes, and welcome to the Scare Chair with Buddy. I'm Buddy, your haunted host on wheels. Today we're kicking off a new installment to the Paranormal Dude's world. This will be the Scare Chair with Buddy. I'll be reviewing movies, scary movies mostly, and letting all you know that scary movies aren't really meant to scare you, but meant to have a good time with. I'll be sharing movies that got me really scared, and possibly have some movies that will scare you guys, but still I want you to come along and have a good time with me. So make sure to follow along and send me your ideas and movies that you want me to review, and I'll check them out, and we'll get some more reviews and figure out what it is we should and shouldn't be afraid of. So stay tuned, guys. All right, guys, so the movies we're going over today was going to be all three of the Conjuring movies. I'm just refilling in on these since we have the new Conjuring coming out September 5th, The Last Rite. And I just wanted to go over the first, second, and third movie and kind of give you what I feel about these movies, what got me scared, and what should be fun about these movies for you guys. So let's get on into it. The first Conjuring comes out in 2013. It's based on the Parent family haunting. The film follows Ed and Lorraine Warren, which are real-life paranormal investigators, as they are called to a Rhode Island farmhouse plagued by a sinister presence. As the Warrens dig deeper, they uncover the dark history of Bathsheba, which, by the way, guys, Uncle Sergio, Paranormal Dudes, they don't like talking about actual names of their ghosts and, different spirits. I ain't about that. This is my show. This is my rules. So, back to it. Anyway, Bathsheba, she's a witch who's cursed the land, and things are going out of control and blow into a full spiral. The movie here from The Conjuring is directed by James Wan, and this movie is masterclass. It has a really slow tension and creepy atmosphere and minimal CGI. What really gets this movie going is the sound effects, and the music sets the tone right before any kind of jump scare. And remember, this movie doesn't have too many jump scares. As for this movie, one of the biggest jump scares in this movie, and the most epic of all time, in my opinion, has got to be the clap game scene.
You and now.
So one of the most iconic scenes in this movie is going to be the clap scene. The mother of these children is walking through the house playing a hide-and-go-seek game with her youngest daughter. In this game, she's blindfolded and has to ask her daughter, which is hiding, to clap. This gives her a clue to find her within the house. At one point, she asks for a clap, and out of a closet, or shall I say a wardrobe, two demonic hands reach out and
Oh, I know where you're hiding. Give me the third clap.
that right there is a scene that will get me and give me chills forever. Because as soon as she gets close enough, the tension starts getting bigger and bigger, and all of a sudden, right before discovering what's inside that closet, her daughter jumps out behind her and says, "You lose, you took off your mask." Let me tell you, as far as creepy goes, that really got me going. As far as the rest of this movie, we do follow around Ed and Lorraine Warren, which are portrayed by Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson. In this movie, they're not just regular ghost hunters, they're actually a loving couple. And they show that through their beliefs and their strengths with each other, and they do not want to let go of each other's side. Really brings a these two really do play it off real well throughout this movie, showing that they're much more than just a couple looking for some ghosts. They back each other up, they want to be near each other, and they want to help each other through everything they deal with. Honestly, brings together the real feeling of the actual Ed and Lorraine Warren going through some kind of investigation and not leaving each other's sides. And the farmhouse. That house itself is almost its own character within that movie. I'm surprised it didn't come out in the credits at the end. But it's creaky, it's dusty, it's dread-filled. I mean, everything about that house, every little corner you see in that house, it's dark, it's shadowy. Director James Wan really knew what he was doing. I mean, he picked the perfect place for this movie, and I have to say, even the actors, everybody, the children, when they were scared, they really looked scared. The adults, they even looked scared and they knew it was coming. All of this was just an awesome movie. Myself personally, if I'm going to rate this, which I'm going to give it rating anywhere from 1 to 10, I'm going to say this one right here had 8.5 wheels. On my ideas, this is a scary movie and something I will watch over and over again. So in my final thoughts for The Conjuring, this is a horror movie that's brought haunted houses back into the mainstream. With a style, atmosphere, and heart, it's scary and smart. A must-watch for any fans of horror. It holds up incredibly well over the last decade. So if you really want to get into a scary movie, check out The Conjuring from 2013. It's really good. Alright guys, and now for your next movie, we're going on to The Conjuring 2. This is going to be a new house, a new demon, the same terrifying Warrens, and we'll see you there if you dare, to one of England's most famous hauntings, the Enfield Poltergeist. In this movie, Ed and Lorraine are called to London to investigate the haunting of the Hodgkin family, particularly young Janet, who may be possessed. But this isn't just a standard ghost story. As things escalate, a deeper evil is revealed, a demonic entity named Valak. This demon Valak is the one who appears as the terrifying nun. We know all those stories, so we're going to get a little deeper into this one. So as far as this movie goes, director James Wan cranks up the ambition, adds more effects, bigger set pieces, but still grounded in the Warrens' emotional journey. He uses the Crooked Man and the Nun, which are Janet's possession scenes. Their nightmarish but real heart is used when throughout all the horror that we see in this movie, we do get a better taste at what Ed and Lorraine Warren are going through as far as their relationship. Throughout this movie, Lorraine is seeing different scenes where Ed is ultimately being killed. She takes on a lot of scenes where she is trying to protect Ed from going in and fighting off a demon on his own, but Ed, being the hero and being the man that he is, has to jump through hoops and try and save this little girl from an entity that he has no idea the power of. As far as this movie goes, there is one main scene that I see that stands out the most to me, and that's going to be where Lorraine confronts Valak. It's a horrifying and beautifully filmed scene. If you watch that scene, Lorraine ends up finding out that she met Valak in one of her clairvoyant visions. In this vision, she is able to ask Valak what his name is, and she gets it, writing that name inside of her Bible, and later finding out and using it to battle Valak and send him back to her. So this movie, to me, gave me more of a visually intense feel than the first movie. There's more CGI, but it's used very tastefully, especially when the Crooked Man is transforming and within Valak's design. The scares are fresh, not so much as the first one, more of a jump and more creeping towards you, so you kind of see what's coming within the shadows or a face in the background, which really sets off a different mood than the first Conjuring. That right there got me going a little different, got me feeling a little different than the original Conjuring movie. So for The Conjuring 2, I'm going to go ahead and give it 8 wheels out of 10. It's a sequel that holds its own, a bigger scale, but still personal. Valak is true nightmare fuel, and her presence alone elevates this movie into a modern horror icon status. Maybe not as quite as tight as the first movie, but still incredibly effective. Let's not forget that nun. She gets her own spin-offs later. Worth a watch. Alright guys, so 2 down, 1 to go. Next up, we're going to wrap the trilogy with The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. It's a possession murder of a courtroom drama. Let's get into it. Alright guys, The Conjuring 3. The Devil Made Me Do It, produced in 2021. This kind of shifts from our regular horror into haunted house and homicide. In this movie, the Warrens are investigating a real-life case of Arne Cheyenne Johnson, a man who claimed demonic possession as a defense for murder. The story blends occultism, curses, satanic rituals, as the Warrens race to uncover the source of the evil before it strikes again. Unlike the first 2 Conjurings, this movie takes a different direction, more like a supernatural detective thriller. Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson, they still shine as Ed and Lorraine Warren, and their chemistry carries on again throughout this story. It has a strong opening exorcism scene that sets the tone. It's intense and disturbing. I'll admit, it is a pretty scary scene. And the villain is a dark occultist. But even though it's creepy, it lacks the iconic punch, though, of Valak or Bathsheba. We're dealing more with like a voodoo witch than we are a demon or something, scary in that area as far as paranormal. Although, I will say voodoo and curses, personally, they kind of freak me out. I don't want to deal with that ever again. So this movie is a little less traditionally scary than the first two. It's more of a mystery than suspense, but there's still a few effective moments. Like, for one, the waterbed scene and the forest confrontation stand out. It's atmospheric, but more subdued. Believe me, getting on a waterbed as a kid, it was the greatest feeling ever. But after seeing this scene, I thought, whoa, I would have gone crazy seeing a face and hands reaching up trying to get me from within that bed. But yeah, true nightmare stuff there for me, not gonna lie. So as I go ahead and wrap up The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, I'm just gonna say, I don't think the movie was as scary as the first two movies. It was still good. It's just a different flavor of horror in my eyes. Although, it is more about human evil, which scares me more than the paranormal. But I will say I had to give it about 6.5 wheels out of 10. It just wraps up a trilogy, and it shows the Lorraine and Ed and Lorraine Warren, relationship and how close they stuck together. I just kind of was more into the paranormal and the demonic side versus the voodoo and curse side. Don't get me wrong, if this movie got you guys going and you were scared of it, hey, everybody has their flavor in movies. Everybody has their flavor in scares. I just want more of the demonic and ghost stuff. That's me. I hope you guys like these bite-sized reviews. Hit that subscribe button, give me a like, and don't forget, we're going to have more recaps coming your way on The Scared Chair with Buddy. By the way, we're also going to be having a haunted wheel, which, with your suggestions, we're going to throw some more movies up there, more movie titles. We're going to give that wheel a spin, and we're going to find out what movies I'll review next. Until then, hit me up with some comments, hit me up with some likes, and give me your options on what you want for movies or your opinions on what you thought about these movies yourselves. I'd love to hear them. Along with me and the guys at Paranormal Dudes, hit us up at paranormaldudes.com, where we got all our merch and other stuff to go and watch our videos and check out our crew. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll be seeing you soon.